Layer-based slices are user slices that you can create automatically based on the content of layers. These are the easiest kind of slices to make, and they offer some real functional advantages over slices made with the slice tool. But layer-based slicing only works if you've had the foresight to build individual pieces of artwork on separate layers. I did that here in this web page comp. If you look in the Layers panel, you'll see that there are lots of layer groups. And if I click the arrow to the left of any one of those layer groups, you can see that there are nested layer groups and layers inside of those nested groups. So I really recommend making lots of layers and putting individual pieces of artwork on separate layers. I'd like to create a layer-based slice around the photo here, the Taste of California photo. To do that, I'll go to the Layers panel and I'll expand this Photos layer group. And here I have 3 photo layers, one for each one of these photos. I'll select the Taste photo layer, and then I'll go up to the Layer menu, and I'll choose New Layer-Based Slice. That makes this layer-based slice hugging the content of the Taste photo layer. To speed things up, I could create more than one layer-based slice at a time. So let's say I want to make layer-based slices around the other 2 photos here. In the Layers panel, I'll select the C photo layer and I'll hold down the Command key on the Mac or the Control key on the PC and click on the Pack photo layer too to select them both. And then I'll go up to the Layer menu and I'll choose New Layer-Based Slices. And that adds 2 more layer-based slices around each one of these other photos. Layer-based slicing offers some functional advantages over user slices that are made manually with the Slice tool. One big advantage is that layer-based slices move with the underlying artwork. That means that even after you've sliced an entire composition, if you change your mind about the location of one or more pieces of content, you can move those pieces of content around and their slices will go with them. And that means you don't have to reslice the whole composition. Let me show you how that works. Let's say I wanted to move all 3 of these photos up a little bit, but I've already sliced them and I don't want to reslice them. I can move the underlying photos and the slices around them will go with the photos. To do that, I'll go to the Layers panel and I'll select the Taste photo as well as these other 2 photos by holding the Command key on the Mac, the Control key on the PC, and clicking on the Taste photo. Now with all 3 of those layers selected, I'll get the Move tool in the toolbox. And I'll click and drag up, moving the underlined photos. Now remember, the Move tool doesn't directly move the slices, it moves the artwork. When I release my mouse, notice that the slices jump up to move with the photos. So that's a real time saver. Another advantage of layer-based slicing is that unlike regular user slices, layer-based slices will change size to fit the size of the underlying artwork. So for example, let's say I want to make all 3 of these photos smaller. I have the 3 photo layers selected already in the Layers panel, and I'm going to go up to the Edit menu and choose Free Transform. I'll move over any of the corners of these photos, and I'll hold down the Shift key to constrain proportions. I'm also going to hold down the Option key to transform from the center out, and then I'm going to click and drag in to make all 3 photos smaller. When I'm done, I'll go up to the Options bar for the Transform function and click the check mark there. And keep your eye on the photos and the slices around them as I do that. As you can see, the slices got smaller to fit the smaller size of the photos. Yet another advantage of layer-based slicing is that if I add an effect like a drop shadow or an outer glow to a graphic or a photograph, the layer-based slice around that piece of content will expand to accommodate those effects. To show you that, I'm going to go ahead and slice all of the buttons in this web page comp, and I'm going to do that with layer-based slices. I'll go to the navbar layer group in the Layers panel and expand it by clicking the arrow to the left of that group. And then I'll expand the nested buttons layer group as well. I'm going to click on the top button layer, the Tours button layer, hold down my Shift key and click on the bottom button layer, the Explorers button layer, and that selects all the button layers in between. Then I'll go up to the Layer panel and I'll choose New Layer-Based Slices, and that makes a layer-based slice around each one of the buttons. I'm going to go back to the Layers panel and click just on the Tours button, and that will deselect the other button layers. Let's say that I want to add an outer glow around the Tours button to indicate that it's the selected button. With the Tours button layer selected in the Layers panel, I'll go down to the FX icon at the bottom of the Layers panel and I'll choose Outer Glow. That adds an outer glow effect to the Tours button and opens the Layer Style dialog box. Here, I can increase the size of that outer glow. I'll do that by going to the size slider here and dragging to the right. You can see the glow get bigger. And when I click OK, keep your eye on the slice around the Tours button, and you'll see that it got bigger to accommodate that outer glow. I could copy that outer glow to the other buttons too if I wanted. To do that, I'll go over to the Layers panel. I'll hold down the Option key on the Mac or the Alt key on the PC, and I'll click on the outer glow effect and drag it down to the Mission button. And the same thing happened there. When the outer glow was copied to the Mission button, the slice around the Mission button got bigger. So as you can see, layer-based slicing really does offer some useful advantages over slicing manually with the Slice tool. It's quick and easy, and it gives you the options of moving, resizing, and adding effects to underlying artwork without having to go back and reslice.